Hey guys, welcome out to the second nine. We're going to work a little bit of range work today. I'm a big believer, I've always said we're buying strokes out here. So one of the things we really want to focus on whenever we go spend money on range balls, even, unless you're just warming up with 10 balls, getting ready for a round, we got to have something to work on. So let's not waste that time or those funds. So today, I've got a couple of things to work on. Really about 3 things came to mind watching the videos that we filmed on course. I filmed myself on the range before, hitting balls, and I could see some subtleties, some things that needed to be worked on, but it's amazing how different the swing is out on the course and how much more you see mistakes-wise. I'm just taking the club so far inside that it just promotes that over-the-top move quickly, especially on the course. Out here on the range, I can fake it a little bit and I can hide it, but out there it's exposed. So the 3 things I want to work on is that one is getting it back on a better plane. The other thing that I've always suffered with, I was taught as a kid that one of the best moves, more of an athletic move to the ball, would be, to the swing, an athletic motion on the swing would be push your knees in like you're holding the beach ball, put the weight on the balls of your feet, and then, that way we can really twist and go after it. Well, that twisting motion really promotes an inside take also. It's hard to twist like that and come out without swaying one way or the other. So I've had to really learn to push my hips back, and you're talking about 30 years of trying to correct a problem. And the other thing, when your weight's on the balls of your feet, not only are you going to come here, but you're going to jump down on it, and at least I do. So I was watching Steve Johnston. If you're not familiar with his YouTube channel, I'll link it below. I love the guy. I think he's a great instructor. I'm not going to pretend to know whether he's Scottish or Irish because I don't want to piss anybody off by doing it wrong, but he's a UK guy. Great channel, a lot of fun to watch. But he really, I'll link the one episode where he's really talking about, hey, I want you almost bow-legged, and that'll promote that kind of squatting, get back, squat down, and come up out of it. I've heard a lot of people, Gigi, some other people have said it, it just didn't resonate with me. For some reason, the just 3-minute clip of him talking about it, I said, fine, I'll try it. So that's something that's helped. The third thing that, and what I'm trying to do is stop the left side of the course. It's killing me. Everything's going left. Pull, pull, pull. The other thing that I discovered, and being a club fitter, I'm really embarrassed to say this, because again, if you guys have watched any of these videos, I don't pay that much attention to my gear. The amount of offset in this club is staggering. For a blade, I gave it to Dave once. He was hitting them, and he goes, well, my clubs will have a little more offset than yours. And I went, I seriously doubt it. And he looked down at it, and he's like, holy crap, how did we get? So here's Dave's 8-iron, which is a bit of a game improvement compared to mine. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, and I'll do my best to put together a video, but I always just assumed my blade, I just never really looked at it that closely. And I always assumed that it would have little to no offset. And I'm a club fitter. I just never looked at it. I just didn't pay that much attention until one day I put down a club that didn't have this dramatic amount of offset. And I don't know if the 960s did it, or the 690. I don't know if that's why it's happening. But anyway, so it's 107 out here, so before the camera melts, not making excuses for the club, but what I am saying is I have to compensate a little. So I'm adding loft to the club to try and compensate for that offset. The scary thing that I'm trying not to do, but I feel like I have to do, is, I always want to teach, you want to flatten that, at least make it flat, if not a little bit to the sky in the backswing. And that way we can drop in and rotate, turn the club face with our body instead of our hands or over the top or whatever. To keep this club face open, I feel like I'm having to do exactly what I don't want to get the habit of doing, which is this. And I'm afraid of that offset, so I'm subconsciously kind of leaving that club face open, and that also promotes an over-the-top move for me. So I'm really trying. That is my most difficult thing, between keeping the hips back, letting the pressure out of my knees, but then trying not to do this and just trust the swing, that I can keep the club face open a little bit. So The alignment sticks aren't so much for aiming. They're more there so I can see the club going back as far as it needs to go back. So, enough talk. I'm gonna try and so I'm giving you guys the things that I'm working on. If this helps you, great. But so the 3 things I'm thinking, these are my swing thoughts during this time. Push the hips back, put some weight back in the heels or center of the feet more, push the club straight back, and don't do this. So those are all 3 of my swing thoughts going into the, you know, I really want to get the club out and extended, and then fire with the hips, kind of squat down and keep that weight. And even right now in that practice swing, I'm just so accustomed to coming up on my toes. That's where all the weight went. So I've got to learn to bump the weight back to the heel and come up and out of it there. So we'll see if that helps. So because of all the yapping, we'll do about 5 swings. We'll see in the video if we can line it up. I'm aiming at a tree out there, and my goal is to keep everything right of the tree. I'll try and highlight it in the video what tree I'm aiming at, and then you'll be able to see keeping it right of that tree. Hopefully. Or right on it. There's one. So that felt actually really good. The other thing I hate about this swing is I never feel like I can compress the ball with this swing, because it feels like everything has to be kind of snuck away and left open. And that's not a healthy swing thought when you're going after it. I'm feeling like I'm coming up, and that's going to promote more of that early extension I'm trying to get rid of. But for now, I got to stop it from going left. Two out of 5, going right. I like it. Let's try 2 more, 3 more. The one good thing about these swing thoughts and keeping that weight back is it really forces me to accelerate. Whereas before, a lot of my swings, I just kind of let the club come down on its own. Where this, I don't know why, I think I'm just trying to catch up to it. It forces me a little more acceleration, which I like. Cool. One more. Well, I can say I've hit a few hundred balls working on these motions, trying to keep that thing going right. It's successful finally, 5 in a row. No takes, you know, actually keeping it right of the target. So like they say, practice, I mean, this golf is hard. It'll never make perfect, but you know, practice, practice, practice. Now hopefully I can translate it out to the course. So gang, that's trying to keep the ball right. Have a nice day. We'll see you soon. Cheers.